Hello friends, welcome to the Academy Universes. Now, let us take up the second concept in our ETT vlog. This is file management system. This is the first and foremost important concept in Excel journey. Actually, for ETT1 also, I used the same phrase, first and foremost important. Actually, find the difference. As far as ETT1 is concerned, that is exploring Excel worksheet. In order to learn Excel, the first concept is exploring Excel worksheet. So, in learning aspect, that is the first and foremost important concept. As far as file management is concerned, these are the first and foremost important concept for writing Excel programs. Why should you learn Excel? For writing programs. So, for learning Excel, that is the first and foremost important concept. As far as writing programs are concerned, this is the most important concept. Actually, if you do not know this concept, you cannot write programs in an organized manner. Randomly write, everybody writes, but you cannot write them in an organized manner. One more point I have to tell you. Actually, while explaining about the tabs in an Excel worksheet, the first tab is file. File. I told that it is generic tab. Generic tab means whether you develop a small Excel program or a big Excel project, for everything you have to use the file command. Just to explore that, in file command you can find several commands like new, opening new file, open the existing file, save as file, print file, export file, share file. These type of options are there. These are the common options very frequently used. That's why whenever you start your first program, explore it. You may not understand all the command, don't worry about that. First, what is the menu in that, we see that. And initially 3-4 commands you use, like zoom for opening new file, opening existing file, save a file, and save as a file, etc. and all that. You must learn. Without learning them, you cannot go ahead and all that. Actually, if you see this, here you can find two images. One is library, second one is office file cabinet. Why I have given these figures? You see a library, your college library or public library and all that. There are thousands of books and all that. Whatever book you want and all that, in no time, in a fraction of or in few minutes, you are able to locate it. You know the strategy. They divide everything subject wise, category wise, they give indexes and they maintain a register, etc. and all that. Because of all that, whatever book you require and all that, you can find its location in minutes. Whereas file cabinet, office file cabinet, in a big office, several departments are there. Every department maintains certain documents and all that. And not only maintaining document, they categorize the documents and keep it and all that. Whatever document they require and all that, in a fraction of time, that means a few minutes, they can locate it. These are the basics. Actually, today you may write your first program. In this week, you may write 10 programs, and after 1 month, it may be few 10 or 100. But if you want to evolve as a professional, you will learn other programming languages like C, C++, Java, etc. and all that. Then, at one point of time, after a few months, after a few years, hundreds of files are there, program files are there. If you don't organize them properly and all that, you waste your future time. Sometimes you cannot locate your file. That's why file management is very, very important concept. Being a beginner, it is a mandatory concept for you. And one more thing, many students are overconfident. They know everything. Once they start working on files and all that, they feel that they know everything. That concept is not good. Actually, if you feel that you really know and all that, I don't say no. Okay, then what to do? Can you explain this concept file management to others? Formally, if you are able to do that, then I agree, you know that. Or otherwise, you may know that, but if you cannot speak out, if you cannot communicate the concept and all that, I don't agree that you know the concept. That's why whatever concept you learn, you must own it, and then you have to communicate it. Without owning, you never communicate. I am the owner of this. If you want, I can give you. But if I am not the owner of that, I cannot give you. The same analogy, same logic is applicable to concepts also. Once you own it, you can give it to others. For that purpose, just a matter of 10 to 15 minutes I take for this concept, I am explaining everything in a Indonesian style and using analogies and all that. By that, you can own it in no time with 1 or 2 watches of this video. You can own it. Then you will be in a position to explain it to others. And one very important thing I have to tell you, whatever may be your knowledge, standards, your mark report, ranks, etc., and all that, without facing an interview, never get a job. In an interview hall, you must open up your mouth and then you explain the concept. That is very, very important that you must understand. If you are not able to communicate and all that, it is like tank full of water without tap. This point always you remember how much effort you are putting to secure knowledge and skills. That much effort you have to put on communication skills. Whatever concept you know and all that, you must be in a position to communicate to others in a convincing manner. Just like that, you should not throw some words and all that. You should explain every concept formally and all that. From this concept onwards, even previous concept onwards, make it as a habit. After watching my video, question yourself: can I explain this concept to others? If yes, okay, proceed to the next. Or otherwise, once again you watch until unless you get a command over that to communicate to others. Now, I explain the file management system concept formally. Actually, as I told you already, now we started learning Excel. In this week, 10 plus programs we may perform. But if you want to evolve as a professional and all that, continuously perform a number of programs. In Excel, my tutorial itself, I am giving you 100 plus programs and 50 plus projects. So you may learn other programming languages like Python, Java, C, etc. and all that. Then at one point of time, after a few months or few years, hundreds of files will be there. Just imagine that. Imagine that if you don't organize them properly and all that, you waste your future time. Sometimes you are annoyed and sometimes you may not find out the file. Not only organizing the file, you have to give appropriate names also. Such type of tips, how to give names also, I give you the tips. These are one time you learn. It is like your culture. It should be started from day one. If you learn that, then thereafter you never waste your time. And always think whenever you give some name to your file, then you think of, can I identify? After a few months, can I know what is this? After a few years, can I know what is this? So in such way, you think of names and give not only location as well as name. Now, one real life analogy I give you. By that, the same analogy, the same strategy we are applying in our file management system. Now here you see the address, one address I have given. Just you see that 123 Galaxy Residency, Rajkumar Road, Rajaji Nagar, Bangalore. Now let us analyze that, how smart kids can understand. And already I told you, whenever you have to communicate to others and all that, always use analogies and examples. By that, a layman also can understand. Once they understand and all that, they develop a lot of respect and regard to you and all that. So communication is a great skill that part of my course. Every time I talk about that. Okay, now we see. I reverse the address. First, let us say Bangalore. Bangalore is having 14 million population. 14 million population. 1 crore 40 lakhs around population is there. And if you take addresses and all that, at least 40 lakhs addresses are there. For every 3-4 person, one address is there and all that. If you take 40 lakhs addresses are there. Now, this is a very big figure. Now, let us refine it. In this, we are taking Rajaji Nagar. Rajaji Nagar is one of the popular areas in Bangalore and all that. In that, let us say, a imaginary figure I am taking, 1 lakh addresses are there. Here, 40 lakhs addresses are there. It is once comes to Rajaji Nagar, 1 lakh addresses are there. Then, one of the prominent road in Rajaji Nagar is Rajkumar Road. Rajkumar Road. Then, it is part of Rajaji Nagar. Then, 1000 addresses are there. It reduces to around 1000 addresses are there. Now, in Rajaji Nagar, one Galaxy Residency is there. Galaxy Residency is there. This is, in this around 50, 100, let us say 100 flats are there. Means 100 addresses are there. This is 123. So, Now you want to reach this person, Mohan Kumar. Then from this to this, just you have written a hierarchy. By that, you are able to reach this person with a simple effort. If it is not there and all that, you have to search 40 lakhs addresses and all that. This is the strategy. So for everything, doing a complicated, complex thing and all that, you should have a strategy. This is the real life strategy. Based on this only, we file management system is developed. Same analogy. So already you see that. Just you see this table, whatever I explained and all that, you can find. Actually, now technically, if you want to understand and all that, there is a disk or that is called drive. Actually, every computer system is divided into different drive depending on your requirement and option. A drive. This drive, you can take it as Bangalore, in Bangalore. So, in this drive, let us take many drives are there. This is a D drive. In this, I am developing Excel projects. One folder I opened. In this drive, one folder I have opened. In that, what I mean to say, I would like to store all my programs. Now, my programs are divided into different modules. This is module 1, this is module 2, this is module 3, like that and all that, around 10 modules. So, these are the subfolders. This is the drive, this is the main folder, this is the subfolder. Actually, my objective is you should learn through a program hands-on and you should get practice. So, for a learning purpose, a set of programs I am giving. For a practice purpose, another set of programs I am giving. In the same module, it is almost like a replica. So, this is a learning program and these are practice programs. You see that this is the structure where you can, there is no scope of confusion at all. You have to give proper names. So, this is Excel project, this is Excel module 1, module 2 and all that. These are learning project, another sub project, sub folder, subfolder. So, main folder, subfolder, subfolder. If it is required, if you want a more classification and all that, subfolders you can create. This is the strategy. So, this is very close to real life address. That point you have to understand. Okay, already I showed you, thumbnail itself I showed you two figures. Actually, you know that. Your college library knows that. Many times you collected some books from library. How easily you are able to find out the book, you know that. That is the strategy. In the same way, office file cabinet are there. Hundreds of documents they store by different departments and all that. Whatever document they require, in a few minutes they can find out. Actually, one more thing, negatively also I have to tell you, this is also library. There are thousands of books. Can you try? Can you try to find out a book, whatever book you require, that is there in the library? But will you make a try? Never do that. So, if you do not know file management system and all that, randomly and ad hocly, if you start storing files in your system and all that, you are purchasing your headache. You are wasting your future time. That's why then the day one you organize things, how you are organizing things, items in your home and all that. You have to organize things like that. In your home also, that is the best example. Suppose this is a 1200 SFT flat, but how it is divided into rooms and all that. Rooms are nothing like folders. So you organize different things and store them in a study room, drawing room, kitchen room, washroom, etc. and all that. So the same analogy, as I told you already you know, your brain knows, but technically you have to know. So always you find the logic from a real life angle and implement the things. As I told you, the first and foremost important step for implementation of Excel programs. Not only for Excel, whatever technology you learn and all that, then you must know this concept practically and implement that. As a part of this concept, I must explain the most important and relatable concept, that is hard disk. All of you use hard disk, but most of you do not know the facts about that. That's why I am taking it as my responsibility to explain about that. This is the hard disk. Now we see. Hard disk is the fixed disk, or it is a permanent storage. Actually, RAM, RAM is a temporary storage. So once power is off, then whatever contents are there, it goes off. But in hard disk, we can permanently store our data, programs, etc., and all that. That point you have to understand. So, what is the organization? What is the structure of the hard disk? You have to understand. Actually, hard disk is one hall like this thing. Actually, it is a partition like your house. You see, your house is not a hall. Your house is divided into different rooms depending on your utility and comfort, like drawing room, bedroom, study room, kitchen room, washroom, etc. and all that. But as far as hard disk is concerned, originally it is like a hall. But for our convenience sake, because we are using different types of data, programs, etc. and all that, it should be partitioned. So for that purpose, we give a label that A, B, C, D, E, etc. and all that. But one fact you have to understand, any hard disk you see, you cannot find A and B. It starts from C. What is the reason? Most of you do not know. Actually, 20 years ago, around 2000 and all, there were two disks, A disk and B disk. Those are floppy disks. Floppies are very popular at the time to store a small data. So, a small floppy disk and a big floppy disk, two types of disks are there. And for them, A and B drives are earmarked. But most of you by the time didn't born. That's why you do not know about that. Others also they do not know. So our system first disk is started with C. That point you have to understand. Thereafter, depending on our usage, comfort, we divide it DEF. That is totally user oriented, customer oriented. But as far as C is concerned, one specialty is there. All core softwares are stored in that. Your operating system, basic softwares, etc., and all that stored in C drive. Rest of the drives you can classify according to your convenience. Suppose D drive for data, documents, etc., and all that. E drive for software, projects, and all that. And F data, multimedia, backups, etc., and all that. According to your convenience and all that, you can decide the partitions. How much is the size of your drawing hall? Nobody can decide. You have to decide. So, in that way, why I have given two images here means why you are partition your house into different rooms and all that. The same logic is applicable for a hard disk also, but two facts you have to understand is A and B drives are not valid. If you want to create and all that, you can create A and Windows allows, but not by default. So it starts from C drive. C drive is mainly meant for operating system and basic softwares and all that. Remaining drives, D, E, F and all that, according to your will and wish, C and D only you can satisfy. But depending on your requirement and all that, partitions are very important and all, then you create. This is the basic fact. And now, why it is related to file management system, it is obvious, you can understand, because we store our files in the hard disk. So this is a basic thing that we have to understand. Now I tell you how our file structure, that by drawing on the board I will explain to you, then you can have a better understanding over this. Now I show you our file management for our programs and all that. By that you can have a complete idea about this. This is your system, or this is your hard disk. This is your system hard disk. It is divided into C. Already I told you there is a core in that operating system, basic softwares, etc., and all that are stored. Thereafter D, E, F, that depends on our will and wish. Okay, now let us take D for our programs and all that. In this, several folders we create. Let us say this is C, this is Python, this is Java, like that. This is for Excel. In that way, we divide different folders and all that. Folder, this is a drive, this is folder. Okay, in this, now let's come to our thing. Actually, these are, let us name it as a folder Excel programs. Always you give relevant names. Even after 1 year, 2 years also, if we see what are there and all that, you have to understand. Simply, you may give EP. After that, what is that? You never know that. That's why you always keep in mind your future. You should not waste your future time. That point you have to understand. Now, let us come to Excel programs and all that. In that, one of the now we are dealing with ETT 50. This is Excel Tools and Tricks 50. This is a blog. For that purpose, one separate subfolder. This is the folder, this is the subfolder you are opening. In this ETT, I am making 10 groups because for each group is having a purpose. That's why in this one more group you create. If you want, if you divide like this and all that, you can save your future time. Whatever file you want and all that, immediately you can locate it. Okay, so here you can name it as a ETT. I write here ETT group A. But it should be not a rigid rule and all that. In this, you give in this group A is there. Thereafter, group B will be there. Group C will be there, like that and all. In the group A, we create half a dozen files and all that, or half a dozen programs we will give and all. What name we have to give? Now you see that ETT group A 1. And if you want to give a clue also, that is a good habit. Cash bill. Don't bother about length. Actually, ETT, here 15 in that group. Group A 1, first program, cash bill, Excel SX. This represents Excel spreadsheet XML format. Excel SX. One time you repeat it. Somebody asks you and all that. 2-3 times you repeat it. Excel spreadsheet XML format. What is XML format and all that? Forget. Just listen. In this way, one structured name is given. Whenever you see, you never get any doubt and all that. In this manner, if you give, then this is the D drive. In the D drive, several folders are there. Those are related to different programming languages. Thereafter, this, as far as Excel programs are concerned, one created. In that Excel programs also different groups are there. One of the groups is ETT 50. This is Excel Tools and Tricks 50 blog. In that 50 programs I am giving. For the sake of convenience and all that, for the sake of integrity and all that, I made 10 groups and all that. I am naming them A, B, C, D and all. This is the way. Whatever you are doing, that you should know. Actually, if you want to evolve as a professional and all that, who will tell you? I am taking up as my responsibility, and most of you want short videos and all that. If you want a short video and all that, your knowledge is discounted. You don't expect short videos for everything. If you want to learn completely and all that, then you learn. You should not be lazy. Lazy people never evolve as programmers. For the sake of completion, I have to explain about file path. Now we see, this is the drive, how we should be represented. You don't have any choice. In order to represent and all that, you have to use the D drive and capital letter. Thereafter, one colon, slash, should not use backslash. Many people are confused. So, this represents a drive. Thereafter, Excel project. Every time, this is the separator. Group A, ETT A, and cash bill, etc. This is the file path. Simply saying the file path and all that, you should understand where the particular file is located. It is already in the beginning I gave you one address. The address is in Bangalore, Rajajinagar. Next, Rajajinagar, Rajkumar Road. Thereafter, Galaxy Residency 123. Like that only, this is there. One thing I am telling you, every time I tell you, you should speak out. If this concept you own, you should be in a position to explain to others. Otherwise, your knowledge will be futile. That point you have to understand. Finally, I want to tell you one thing. How we are moving in a logical order. Actually, first concept where I explain exploring Excel worksheet. That's the first and foremost important step to enter into Excel. Second step is I explained file management system. Actually, in order to write an Excel program, then that is the foremost important step. So everything, it may take 25-30 minutes also. You study number of times until you want it to study. Now the third step is the Excel program. You cannot even expect that here this program you are going to write just with 1 hour of endeavor. In order to write this program, already I showed you the group one program, first program, and this casual program, and by implementing 20 commands to write this program. And before that, I will show you how to open file and all that to help the beginners. So thereafter 20 commands you implement ultimately to write this program. I am telling you, this is a great beginning. A good beginning is a half ending, and you get a great first impression. First impression is an everlasting impression. I request you all to subscribe for this channel. I provide you 100 things. Just simply sit at home and follow my system. If you want to raise a doubt also, you cannot do that unless you have a research. Okay? So, in order to evolve with a professional, what you require, not only Excel, later I am going to provide you Python, etc. and all that. Wish you all the best.